Okay, we got the minesweepers. Minesweepers? Minesweeper number tier list. Based on usefulness. Most helpful, I guess. Not very helpful. Sucks ass. that's what this one can be. This one can be this. And most helpful. Obviously, gotta make it like pink instead. I'll turn off Dark Reader. What the fuck? Are these the colors I picked? Jesus Christ. There's only 8 numbers, so I can't do much. 1, the most helpful number. Whenever you're playing Minesweeper, I mean, like, 1s are essential. They're everywhere. Getting a board without a 1 is, like, basically impossible. You know? They tell you there's 1 mine nearby. And as long as you pay attention to that, you're safe most of the time. Oh, fuck. Like, they tell you everything. Sometimes you'll get stuck in a little rut, but you can keyhole ones really easily. You can... Yeah, see, like, look, if there's all these ones, I just know that I can keyhole further. I know that. Come on. They gotta be most helpful. I'm pretty sure. Now, on the complete opposite end, almost, 7s are very helpful. Because if you actually find a 7 and you're in a tricky scenario, like, I don't know, say here, it's not really helpful here, but I guess, I don't know, fucking. Imagine a scenario where there's a ton of mines nearby, and like, there's a ton of mines left in a small area, and you just get a 7, and it's like, boom, you just found, like, a ton of mines. And also, you know that everything around there is a mine, and it might either solve numbers, like, on these ends of the 7, on the other ends, something like that. If you find a 7, the fact that you can just mark everything immediately is pretty dang helpful. Alright, 2s. 2s, I don't know. I don't know about 2s, because, like, they're like 1s but worse. They're just 1s but worse, you know? I don't know, they're not that bad. Not very bad, but they're not as good as 1s, of course. Probably very helpful. I'm not putting 4 in very helpful. You know 4 sucks ass. 4 is terrible in, like, so many scenarios. I guess I could, like, just try to keep solving high density stuff while I'm doing this. Like, 2s are pretty helpful. You can do a lot of stuff with them. Like, stuff like that I just did. That kind of stuff. There's stuff like that everywhere with 2s. See, stuff like this. I mean, okay, well, that was solvable, but shh. Shit like this. This sucks ass. This is why I hate 4s. Sometimes you can keyhole them, but in most scenarios, they just suck massive ball. I think 4s are worse than 5s. Actually, I don't know. It's like, it's really weird. It's hard to say. Stuff like this happens all the time with 3s, 4s. 3s are kind of like, I don't know. Yeah, shit like this happens all the time with 4s. I just don't like them. They're really annoying in a lot of cases. The 4s are being very nice to me in this board. They're trying to prove that they're not bad. Cause shit like this, fucking just straight up corner guesses that end up in 50-50s just happen with 4s. And it's ass. It sucks ass. Why is this board being so fucking nice? They're really trying to prove to me that they're not that bad. They're like, come on, we can be helpful. We don't suck ass. And you know what? You're right. You don't suck ass. You're not that garbage, but you're pretty fucking bad. What? Really? Every single one. This is gonna end up in a 50-50, watch. And it's all because of this stupid fucking 4. This scenario wouldn't happen without the mix of 3s and 4s. And I think it's less so the 3's fault and much more so the 4's fault. 3 is just like dragged along unwillingly into these unfortunate scenarios. You know? 3 walls happen a lot. Like, they happen a lot. Really? Okay, well there's 1 mine here, there's 1 mine here, and there's 1 mine here, so these should be floating cells. I just solved it. I just solved it! I was trying to explain why they suck ass, and I solved the fucking 1K. Okay? 4s, I'm putting in not very helpful. 5s, they're also not very helpful. 6s kind of suck ass, actually. You know, the more I think about it, they kind of suck ass. Hold up, let's go back. I'm getting ahead of myself. 3s, they're not too bad. They're just hanging out. They try to be your friend. They help kind of a lot, honestly. Like almost the same amount as 2s. So leaning much more towards the very helpful than the not very helpful. More middle ground. They're not that bad. 5s are kind of in the same boat as 4s, but like slightly better. See if I can get some sort of 5 scenario. That was a mine. I knew that was a mine. Look at the 7. Look at 7. Oh my god, these stupid fucking 4s. If there was a 3 there, it would have solved. See? 4s suck ass. 7s are chill. 5s, I don't know. Like, this kind of shit is really annoying. And also that kind of shit. It says 4s suck ass. This kind of shit is just, it's really bad. It's a 3 in 5 chance. You know, that is true. 5s usually end up in spots like this, where it's a something like a 2 in 5 chance, or a 3 in 5 chance that one of the cells you click near it is a mine. They're not very helpful. They don't really help at all, actually. They never, not really on the friendly side. They're not very friendly. Potentially even less so than 4s. They just, I don't know, they're not very nice. They like hogging up a ton of space. It's kind of rude. I don't know if I like that. Like this shit is annoying as fuck. It is so annoying. Kind of shit, and it happens all the time with 5s. I think 5s suck ass. They suck pretty big ass. I'm not going to lie. Yeah, I'm gonna put 5s in the suck ass tier, because they suck a whole lot of ass. Basically all the time. Like they're addicted to that. This kind of shit. See? I don't know, man. 5s suck ass. Sucks ass. 6s are also not very helpful. When you find 6s, normally they're not solved. They're not really solved. And you know what happens when you have a not solved big number? There's a whole lot of guessing, and you have to work your way around that. Now, it is a 6, so like generally you want to bank on the fact that like what you're working around is a mine. You want to guess that something is a mine and work off of that, but then it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And you're there, crying, because the stupid fucking 6 had to be there and not tell you any information. 0 information. I don't think they're as bad as 5s, because 5s can be fucking horrendous. And usually, in most cases, they do tell you something, or at least you can make a good guess off of it, but like, this shit, and this shit, and this shit, it happens all the time with 5s, and they suck. They suck! 6s, they don't suck that much. Whenever you have this, at least you can sort of do something with it. Now I'm stuck here because of all the fucking 5s. 5s suck ass. Okay. 8s. The thing with 8s is they're so rare, and when they happen, because they have so much value in Minesweeper Online, if you have a potential 8, you are going to click it. At least at my stage of existence. Oh wow, look at that. I found something, and it just led me to another fucking Get the fuck out. When you find an 8, it's like, it's there. It's just there, right? It's either there or it's not, and you have to try to find it like, it's like some sort of myth. It's like do you see why 5s suck so much? Do you see it yet? Sorry. They're like mythical creatures. And when you find them, they either are awesome, or they're just tricking you, and it's actually a 9, and you click it, and you fucking die. Or you have an 8, and you're at the end of your board, and it's the last thing you click, and it's the best feeling ever. So there's one mine left, which means it's right there in the middle, and this is open. And there's also another example, actually. My friend Chloe, she has a evil that had an 8 in it, and it ended off, the 2 mines were part of the 8. The hint said to open this square, because there has to be a mine here, there has to be a mine here. So if you open this square, because there's one mine here and one mine here, you open this, it's a fucking 8, and the 8 solves the board! The 8 solves the board. That could have been a 6, that could have been a 7, but the 8, it just feels awesome. So it could be very helpful, but it also could be not very helpful. So in, I guess, the middle, the 8s aren't too bad as a gameplay, in a gameplay aspect type of thing. They're just cool as fuck. When you get a 9 instead of an 8, it sucks, but that's not the 8's fault. It kind of is the 8's fault, because 8s have their own whole shape. They have one shape. They're the only number to have one shape. Every other number has a bunch of formations. This has one formation. And it's either awesome, or it's not an 8. And if it's not an 8, that's not the 8's problem, because 8s are awesome. So, I don't know. In terms of gameplay, they're not that bad. They're either cool if they're there, or they never appear. So, like, they're not really ever an issue, or they solve a board. That's fucking cool as shit, you know? Or you just find one, and you click it, and it's there, and you're like, holy shit, I just found an 8. There's my tier list. 5 suck ass. There's so much fucking garbage.